The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd Canto, 3rd Chapter, text number 24, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on June 22nd, 1972, in Los Angeles.
So, here is one word, steel frame. Nowadays, the medical science is changing the heart, steel frame. So, this modern science is making steel frame heart, but we can understand that formally also there are steel framed heart. Otherwise, how this word comes? Sadasmasanam vidam vatiram. So, just like stone or steel, it does not melt very easily. Similarly, anyone's heart, it does not change after chanting Hare Krishna mantra regularly. Then it is to be understood that it is steel frame, made of stone or iron. Actually, Harinam, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, it is especially meant for cleansing the heart. That all misconception is within our heart, beginning from the wrong identification that I am this body. That is the beginning of all misconception. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chetadarpana Mahāya. As you go on chanting, gradually the heart will be cleansed and you will be able to understand that you are not this body. That is called Jnana Vairāga. Jnana means to know thoroughly that I am not this body. This is Jnana. And as soon as you know that you are not this body, naturally you become disinterested with anything which has got bodily relation. The Chetadarpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nidpapanam. Bhava means repetition of birth and death. You become. Bhava means. So you become means you die also. Because this is the word. To become does not mean that you stay forever. That is not possible. You become means you die also. So, but under wrong impression, as soon as I become, I think that this world is very nice. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings that, my dear Lord, when I was in the womb of my mother, at that time, I saw you once became visible. Those who are spiritually advanced, they can see God within the womb of the mother. When the child remains packed up and the consciousness is gained, he feels very uncomfortable. So at that time, one who is pious, spiritually advanced, he prays to God, please rescue me from this bondage. I am so much suffering. And this time, after taking my bath, I shall simply be engaged in Krishna consciousness. Promises. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Janama haila parimaya jale. As soon as birth is taken, the Maya is there, we forget. Immediately, father, mother, other relatives, they take up the child and that's very nice. So in this way, we forget that we were in such a precarious condition, almost suffocating, almost it is suffocating. After coming out from the womb of the mother, if you are packed up again in such airtight bag, within 3 seconds you will die. We live under the protection of the Supreme Lord, otherwise that is not a living condition. Just imagine, within the home. So, this we forget, and being taken care of affectionate father and mother on the land, we think life is very nice, this life. But this is Maya, this is illusion. Actually, this bhava, to take birth, is very, very unpleasant task. It is blazing fire, bhava mahadava. So, if we can cleanse our heart during this life, this is the opportunity. It is not possible when I take birth as an animal, cats and dogs, that is not possible. But as I have got now this human form of body, we should not be again misled. Chetadarpana marjanam bhavamadam. If we can cleanse our heart, then this blazing fire of repetition of birth and death can be extinguished. But the illusory energy is so strong that we forget our last death time miseries. At the time of death, we suffer very much, so that just imagine when we give up our life, how much a difficult position at that time. So we forget birth and death. As soon as there is birth, there is death also. Death means the more you are advancing in age, that means you are dying. You are advancing in death. The child is born. When this child is born, just yesterday, that means he has already died one day. So in this way, death is progressive. As soon as there is birth, the death is immediately, side by side. And 1 day old means I have died one day. I am 76 years old, and I have already died 76 years. Suppose I live, say, 80 years, 90 years, so I have already died 76 years. So death is sure. They say we are advancing. What is that advancement? Death is sure. You cannot control birth, death, old age. You cannot stop old age. And disease. You can manufacture nice medicine, but you cannot stop disease. So we have become still-hearted, still-framed heart. We do not consider all these things. These are practical. And still we are under the impression that we are advancing in material civilization. So we are advancing in the art of cutting stone and wood, that's all. This is our advancement. Just like in your country, within 2 months they can build one wood house. An expert in cutting wood, this is advanced. Wood cutter, stone cutter. But we are not meant for cutting wood and stone. We are meant for understanding our spiritual identity. There are many birds, a woodcutter bird. So that is not very expert manifestation of our intelligence. So this cleansing of heart will be possible by Harinama Dheyi, this chanting of Harinama, 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 Harinama iva kevalam, kalau nasti, 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 nasti. Anything, any spiritual process is meant for cleansing the heart. Either you take karma yoga, or jnana yoga, or dhyana yoga, or bhakti yoga. The ultimate goal is that cleansing the heart. At the present moment, I am under misconception, dirty things accumulated on my heart, that I am this body, and therefore I do not try to realize that I am soul, and under bodily concept of life, as the animals, they are also in bodily concept of life. They are busy eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Similarly, human civilization has become like animals. They are interested only in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's all. But that is not our position. It is a chance to get out of the entanglement of birth, death, old age and disease. This is our real business. Chetadattanamarjana. We are misguided. Our so-called leaders are misleaders. They do not know what is the aim of life. That is the difficulty at the present moment. Not at the present moment, in the material world. This problem is always existing, but due to this Kali age, that problem is more acute. That's all. So, this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, without offences, 10 kinds of offences, will cleanse the heart, and then it will be liberated. Chetadarpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni, because we will know the path, how we can get out of these classes of birth and death. There are so many big scientists, philosophers, they don't talk of this important subject matter, how to get out of birth and death. They have no solution, neither they can think of. But our Krishna consciousness movement is giving us the knowledge that you can get out of these classes of birth and death, old age and disease. That is our desire. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to go again into the womb of the mother. Nobody wants disease. Nobody wants old age. But the so-called scientists, they have no proposal to get out of this class. Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam gives you hint that Harinama Dhevi, by chanting Harinam, Harinama, Harinama, Harinama iva kevalam, you can get out of this. And when Harinam will be perfect, and that symptoms are given here. Netre jalam, gatra rohisu harsa. By chanting, when not always, sometimes out of ecstasy, when tears will come down, and there will be shivering on the body, that means you are coming to perfection. This is not to be artificially practiced. When you actually come to the perfectional state, these will automatically appear. So, this verse suggests that if a person is chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but his eyes are not tearful, or there is no ecstatic shivering of the body, then that means he is not coming to the perfection of mind. So if we chant this Hare Krishna mantra without offense, according to observing regulative principles and numerical strength, Sankha Purvaka Nama Gananati Bhi, the Goswamis in Vrindavan, they used to chant keeping a numerical strength. They were all liberated persons. Still, teaching us an example, they also used to chant keeping a numerical strength. Haridas Thakur, he used to chant Hare Krishna mantra keeping a numerical strength 300,000 times. 300,000 times. So our prescription is only 25,000. Not 100,000. So it is not very difficult. It takes at most 2 hours. We can find out of 24 hours, 2 hours. We can find out time. So if we actually follow the rules and regulations and chant Hare Krishna mantra, then these symptoms will come. Netre jalam gatra roheshu harsha. When this comes, then you know that I am coming to perfection. And if it is not coming, then it is to be understood the heart is still frame. Still frame, so it is still only, stone. The stone, if we keep our heart stone, a still frame, then it cannot be melted. These symptoms mean heart is melting.